Hey everybody, I'm back. My name is Candace Hunter, and this is my reflection on remote learning week 1. Okay, week 1 of remote learning is in the books. I am reflecting on the glows, the things that went really well, and the grows, the things that definitely are going to need improvement. I try to focus my grows on me because that's really all I can control, right? I can't control my 6th grader and I can't control my senior. Really, their reactions to things, I can only encourage them and try to talk them through the really rough spots. First, I guess I want to give you a little bit of my background so that you can kind of take with some weight what I'm saying. So I started teaching in 1997, and I started in a high school in West Texas, which was a really great high school. Students were really well prepared. I didn't have to do much learning. In 2007, after being an at-home mom for 5 years, I went back into the classroom here in Austin at Webb Middle School. Webb is a Title I school, mostly Black and brown students, mostly brown. And it was a kind of a tough school. I have a lot of English language learners. I have a lot of children living in poverty, a lot of children living in trauma. So that's where I began my teaching career here in Austin. I am a native Austinite, but I went away to college and I taught in Abilene. So I taught at Webb. I wound up being a department chair at Webb. I then wanted to become an instructional coach, and I went to Reagan as an instructional coach. Again, another Title I school, a lot of tough kids, a lot of challenges. So, I've been there, done that, loved every minute of it. I am a glutton, but I enjoy working with kids who need more. And I did an instructional coach for 1 year and realized I really don't like paperwork or reports. So I went back into the classroom at Reagan. I then moved to Pierce at Reagan. And that is where I will say I really cut my teeth, having the 8th graders on a high school campus and some of the most vulnerable students, but with some of the greatest challenges. And after that, I went on to Maynard Middle School, another, which it probably should have been a Title I school, but it's the confluence of rural, urban, and then kind of like East Austin. So it's all kind of coalescing there together. So probably should have been a Title I school, but really wasn't. And then I came back to Sadler Means, another Title I school in East Austin that is single gendered, all girls, had the best time there. So I say all of that to say I have taught in some of the most challenging environments in this city, and nothing prepared me for this past week. So to my reflections, what do I think I did well? What do I think I need to do better? The first thing is I was not a good listener. I've taught middle school for like 20 something years. I know what it's supposed to look like. I know how it's supposed to work. And for me, I guess it's super hard to troubleshoot when the person next to you, their lip is trembling and the world is ending. And for her, it was a big capital D deal when we couldn't get into a class, or it was really like near the end of the world calamity when she was in blend and she couldn't find exactly where the teacher was. And so a lot of times she wanted to, I was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. We'll find it. We'll get it. You can email the teacher, put it in the chat. And so that's fine, right? Because it's like first period, but there's like the same problems are happening third period, and it's the same like level of angst. So my level of frustration is like, we already solved this in first period. It's not going to be that tough to solve it in third period. But so I kind of had to balance that, kind of take a break a couple times. So that was just day 1. So there you go. And then I didn't do a good job of listening, meaning that she was telling me, my 6th grader was telling me, I need more. And I was really saying, no, you really need less. And my senior was saying, I need less. And I was really saying, no, you got to graduate. You need more. And so the one thing that I was trying to avoid of, kind of damaging our mom-son, mom-daughter relationship, teacher-student, I really had to take a step back. So The one thing that I realized is I followed the golden rule and not the platinum rule. So the golden rule is, right, treat others as you would like to be treated. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated, right? And so this coming week, I will try to follow the platinum rule a little bit more. So that is a grow on my part. A glow is I was really well prepared to come in because I've taught middle school in Austin for a while. So I knew a lot of the things that needed to happen. And when the teachers were talking about blend, I was familiar with Canvas, which we call blend in AISD for whatever reason. And so I knew kind of how to find things, but I had to guide her a little bit more. And I was kind of anticipating when the teacher was like, find the syllabus. I knew her question was going to be, what's a syllabus? She's in 5th grade or 6th grade now. She's never used a syllabus before. So I was like, hey, that's on the front page of Blend. It's just a map of the class. It tells you what the expectations are and that sort of thing. So I was able to do that for her. I guess I did not manage the grow would be, I did not manage my expectations. I was very frustrated with the tech. So last spring, you may remember AISD was kind of like, oh, read a puzzle, do color a picture. Yeah, okay, you're passing. But when at ACC, we basically had to go online, never having done that before. And I am a ESL teacher, so I teach ESL 1. That is non-native speakers, working class folks. ACC did such a great job of preparing the teachers that we were able to do a great job of preparing our students that we made the jump over the digital divide, including the language barriers. And so my classes were so successful. I mean, pretty much everybody's were really successful using our LMS, our learning management system, mixing it with our conferencing platform. So there were no problems there. And I mean, sometimes we had connectivity issues, but I always told my students you can call in on the phone. And so it just went really well. So I was thinking AISD's had a while and they'll be able to do this. And that was not the case. And so the good news is that AISD is giving teachers the Pro Zoom. I found that out today. I'm so excited. That has a few more features that teachers can use to engage students. I will be doing for teachers over at Teacher Bootcamp, I will be doing a free live Facebook training 1 hour next Saturday from 10 to 11, where I will be showing teachers how to maximize their learning platforms and maximize Zoom. Also, we'll talk a little bit about chunking and checking for understanding, because I noticed that a lot of teachers are moving super, super fast. And it's real easy for kids to disengage just by turning off the camera. So we want to make sure that we keep kids engaged, and I'll be sharing some tips and tricks over there on Saturday. So I do want to give a shout out to a couple of teachers. They're my daughter's teachers, and I mean, they did an awesome job. The choir teacher did what every teacher should have been doing this week, and that is building relationships. Kids will not learn from people they don't like. This new world of Zoom, it is like a television show with ratings. If kids like you, they're going to dig in and they're going to learn and they're going to want to do better for you. If kids are like, I could be reading a book right now, then it's going to be really hard for you to hold their attention, which means they're not going to be actively engaged, which means they're not going to be getting much out of their lessons. And my daughter's choir teacher really spent some time building relationships. And then my daughter's math teacher gets the award for the most patient person. I listened to her answer the exact same question 4 different times, and never once did the tone of her voice change. It was, I don't know that I could have done it. But yes, she was very patient, and she was very gentle with the kids. She did a lot of what we call in education scaffolding, and it means exactly what it says. You build a scaffold so that kids can get to where they need to be. She was really great at that. So one problem we had was when we opened up the Chromebook for day 1, it wouldn't go to anything. Like it would go to her Blend, it would go to her email, but it would not go to any class. Zoom would not load. And I just want to shout out to Carlos Montes in the IT department, who helped me troubleshoot and was not at all sarcastic, was just like, click this, click that, click this. He didn't assume I knew anything. And when I didn't know something, there was no like snickering under his breath, like silly, foolish woman. He was just really patient and kind. He helped me get everything solved. And then I was like, while I got you on the phone, somehow it doesn't show her name. And, he was troubleshooting that with me, and he was very kind. And so I think the district could definitely use more Carlos's, because his customer service was excellent. That is not the experience some families got this week when they asked questions. So I was very fortunate. Finally, we are doing something we've never done before. I have control over me. That is absolutely the only thing I have control over. The two human beings to which I've given life, they have their own thoughts, their own feelings, and their own emotions, and they are all valid. And I, as their parent and as their teacher, helper, leader, whatever I am, I'm going to have to respect those boundaries. And when they need help, try to keep things cool and calm and try to help. And when they don't need help, even if I think they're doing it wrong, I'm going to have to walk away, and maybe they'll work it out and they don't need me. And even if they do, when I have to go back, I don't go back, with a smarmy smile and say, ha, 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 I told you were doing it wrong, because that will only cause them to shut down further. And then they won't ask me for help next time when they really need it. So I wish everybody the best of luck on week 2. I think that if you're having an issue and you solve it, you should definitely post it. If that's to a parent Facebook page, if that's to your own personal page, I don't think there's anything that you shouldn't post. If you're having trouble, post it, because somebody may already have the solution. And like I said, if you find the solution, then post it. We're having to build our own FAQs, because I don't know that the district is keeping up with it to create a kind of FAQ, but we can build our own and we can problem solve. And that's one thing I will say that I'm very proud of the parents on the Lamar parent Facebook group. People are helping. If you have a question, you just drop it on there, and there's going to be 3 or 4 people that will find you an answer. I know that I try to answer questions if I know the answer, or at least research it if I've got some time. So I really think that we can continue to help each other. I think if you are a parent and you do not have a mom squad or a pop squad or whatever you want to know, some kind of squad, you need one. Because that is one thing that kept me going all week long. Shout out to Aaron Dooner and Monique Meta. I was able to text them and say, if I bury her body in the backyard, do you think they'll find it? No, just kidding. But I was able to say, this is super hard. I haven't done any work in 3 days. I have a podcast to edit or whatever. Well, I really think it's important for you to have those relationships and say, did you get to take a shower? Nope, not yet. I should have taken one before school started. Do you need to run to the post office? I do, but I'm afraid if I leave the house, the internet will go down. And so, these are like actual things that we talked about this week, my group. And then, we had the math pickup. And I was like, I'm going to be in an unconference. My other friend is like, I'm going to be doing something else. And so the third leg of our friendship was like, hey, I got y'all. I'm going to go because I got to do something for band. I'll pick one up for you from your teacher, and I'll pick up one from you from your teacher. And so we need those kinds of connections. Though we can't, and I hate it, be in the same room, we're at least still keeping in contact through text, through video chats or whatever. And I think that's super important. Y'all, best of luck in week 2. We got this. See you later. Bye.